Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and today I want to do a kit review on somewhat of a vintage kit, an 80s kit for sure, and go over the differences and the different issues that are out there. Just go over some of the history, some of the features of these two kits that I really enjoyed. As you can tell, I've enjoyed them a little too much. That's my original build from the 80s. Not really my original build, but it's what's left of my original build. I'll do a feature on this 70 GTX someday, and I'll also do my 70 Road Runner that's over here. I'll actually do the 70 Road Runner first because I got that one really cleaned up and polished for you guys. Pulled it out and just was going over them. So I figured, I would show you, what they would look like built. Here's, the GTX that I did, and then also the Roadrunner, which is right here. But I figured since I have a couple of unbuilt ones as well, I would go over them, because here's the original issue kit. Well, not really the original issue. The original issue was from 1982, and it was this stock only kit. This issue is actually from 1985. The second release of the GTX, with the first one with all the street race parts, which I love these wheels. This is pretty much a mint unbuilt kit. I'll show you the contents that are in it. And then this right here, the GTX, to go back to the GTX real quick, this actually was issued 4 times. Once in its stock, and then 3 more times as the kit is here. In 1985 there was another issue, then the last time was 1995. So for some reason this GTX kit has not been reissued by Monogram or Revell since 1995. So all of them are 25 years old or more. Like I said, this one's 85, so it's 35 years old. And the Roadrunner, this is a later incarnation. It's the same tooling, but they modify the tooling into the Roadrunner. And this kit came out in 2000, and from what I was researching, this is the 2000 issue right here. And they reissued it one other time that I know of, maybe more, but the last recent one I could find was 2013. So, 20 years to 17 years, or 7 years ago for this one. So, they're a little dusty, but kits that I really enjoy. But so a quick look at the box here. Now this one's kind of, I would say, I said spare because I don't have a whole lot of plans for it, but it came to me through a collection somebody was selling privately, and I just reminisced, went, ooh, that was one I really enjoyed, so I bought it off of them. So it's actually still sealed as far as this part goes, so I'll open that up here in a minute. But some of the other stuff, he bagged the tires. So the tires are bagged, but they're the Goodyear tires, steel belted radials. Not a real big fan of these particular ones. And then here's the mag wheels and the velocity stacks. And he wrapped the chrome. Just trying to protect it. This particular guy that I bought this from really liked to keep this stuff wrapped and protected. But there's the GTX grill, the bumpers, the 6-pack air cleaner, the Magnum 500s, and then the chrome mirrors and the pistol grip shifter, which I always love the pistol grip shifter in this kit. But it's a real simple kit. It's an easy kit to build. It's medium on detail, and it's really easy to build simplicity wise. So I'll just start putting some of this stuff away. The thing that bothered me most on this kit were the decals. Now this is wrapped in a wax paper. The biggest issue I had was the original issue and this issue. The factory stripe is only in this lime color, meant for the green car on the box art. So it's really only meant for that version. And even though most cars are black or white, and it's got these stripes here in the 446, and then all the custom stripes. But yeah, I'm not real. That's the only real weak point to me of this kit, is these decals that it comes with. They could be so much better, but they are what they are, and that's what they offered. So I'll put that back in here. And then the glass. This one's got some marks on it, but it'll polish out. Now to really go all out here, we'll break the bag here. Doing this for you guys, so you can see what's in this kit. Now, if I can get it out, yeah, some parts are falling off the trees. They had them in the funny metallic plastic originally. This actually has some marks on it. But the GTX emblems are there, and then GTX emblem on the back here. But it's in this metal flake. But I mean, you gotta paint it. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. But see those swirls and everything. But that's what they were doing back then. It's kind of meant for not painting it, but I painted my first one, and I tried to do it in a green, and I did it a lot like that, and I ended up stripping it. This one was my original build, and I stripped it and redid it. These decals are Keith Marks. Or not Keith Marks, I'm sorry, these are Fred Katie. And then here's the interior, the semi-simple monogram suspension, bucket seat interior with a console. Make a note of that. And the fairly simple chassis. That's what this has. And one of the things I kind of didn't like about it is here's the rear axle with the exhaust molded to it. And if I remember right, there's no shocks in this at all. But yeah, there's no shocks. And this one I did it completely the underside stock with the exhaust. One of the Superbirds that uses the same chassis, I cut these exhaust pipes from the axle and I added leaf springs to give me some more realism. But if you paint this up and detail it up real nice, it still presents really nicely. And the taillights are not clear, they're chrome. So you'd paint them the stop light red and put them on the backside, but they're on the chrome tree. And the steering wheel. And this one has two different size wheel backs for the different wheels. And then the Pro Street hood and the stock hood with the air grabber. And there's the air grabber door, both opened and closed, and the 6-pack intake, and then a dual 4-barrel tonner ram for the other engine. But no headers or anything like that. It's just the top of the motor is custom. But there's all the parts in this kit. And it's pretty simple. You know, it's monogram. What some people don't like about them is it's 1/24 scale. And the engine, kind of a simple engine with the halves. And then the Roadrunner version that came out later, they did modify the tooling and they did some actual serious upgrades to this one. So we'll get to the bag stuff here in a minute. Of course, monogram for 2000. They kept all of the original GTX chrome other than changing out the Roadrunner grille. And then they added these cop car wheels. They're really not technically correct for a 70 Roadrunner. The later cop car wheels, it's like the mid-70s, and then the dog dish. But these look great. I stripped the chrome off of these and painted them body color, but then the chrome caps actually do come separate, so it's easy to do that. And then same 6-pack. Here's the taillights, carb, and then the Magnum 500s also, and the extra 4 barrels and shifter and the mirrors. But this is the Roadrunner, so they really only changed this and added these wheels right here. So not a whole lot of changes to this part of it. Exact same glass and lights and everything, so nothing changed on that part. This one came with the same tires, an exhaust manifold, and there's a distributor. The distributor is really plain. There's nothing on the top of it, but there's room for added detail. But here's the decal sheet, which same thing. It's got a lot more to it than a nice 440 6-pack, and you got the tail panel stripe in 3 different colors. But these side Roadrunner dust tails, the dust tail actually isn't too bad, the dust trail, but the birds that are right there, they're just really lacking. So on mine, this other one, I used Keith Marks decals on this one, and it's got a really nice bird up here with the dust trail. And then I painted this on the stripes. I didn't use the stripes here, but used the 446. And then there you can see the wheels that are painted. But I used Keith Marks decals on this one. You can see how the taillights come out when you paint them. And one other thing with this particular, all of these actually, the Superbird and the Roadrunner and this one, they've got the washer bottle, which is actually, this inner one is technically the washer bottle. This outer one, which I'm not sure what that should be the coolant overflow bottle, but 70 Roadrunners and Superbirds and GTXs did not have that, and I have no idea what that's supposed to be, what that's coming off right there. So a little inaccuracy right there, but not too bad. And still, they didn't add any shocks or anything to the rear suspension on this one. But I'll go more into that build, my two builds, at another time. But on the rest of this, you got the same body, no Roadrunner script right here, but they got smoothed it all out, so they took the emblems off the body completely. But you can do them in decals, which I don't believe the Roadrunner script is actually in the decal either. Yeah, there's no Roadrunner script on the decal either. So, same chassis, unmodified, same suspension, same rear panel, so nothing really new there. But here's where it got new. Got the door cards, door panels, separate pieces, and you've got a bench seat right here. Instead of the buckets, they put a bench seat, same dash, and then a whole new interior tub with no console. So now you can have a non-console bench seat. And a note for you guys, you Mopar guys, this swaps right into the Superbird kit. The Superbird kit has the bucket seats like this car, the exact same interior from this one, just the Superbird body parts. But this interior tub swaps right into it. So if you get one of these and you want to build a Superbird with the bench seat and no console, which is actually more of the Superbirds were that way than the Superbirds came with buckets. But I don't have numbers in front of me. So you can get the interior from this kit and swap it over. Some people know that, some people don't. But I figured I would share that with you too, because that's a significant difference between the two kits, is the all new interior. And it's a neat little surprise that they added that to it. So while they're great kits and simple kits with a couple of inaccuracies, like I was mentioning the bottles here, and that cracks me up. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. But it's a real simple kit, and being that it dates back to the early 80s, and the only other thing I hear every now and then, so people say they're 1/24 scale, so a little bit bigger. But when it comes to these cars, it's either these Monogram kits or find yourself some Johans, which the Johans are really nice body-wise as well, but these are much more affordable, and if you need these in your Mopar collection, they're actually really good kits, and they build up really nicely with a few little tweaks to add for accuracy without really beating yourself up. They got really nice chassis and everything to go along with it, and fairly accurate as far as the details go, but not 100% accurate, but they're just great kits. So I figured I would show you these and do kind of a vintage what's in the box thing to show you, and the differences between the two kits. And you guys thought you would enjoy it, especially all the Mopars. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Saturday. And I appreciate all your comments and your subscriptions and you hitting the like button and everything. And you guys, you have a wonderful day.